All right, hey everyone, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You are listening to Ethan Van Sciver, 28-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, disarming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man, trusted member of the media. All right, so I haven't done one of these in a little while, and I'm doing a little experiment here. Let me see how this feels. Let me see how I like talking about some of my old work. I've done videos for just about every single comic book that I've ever drawn, but I kind of stopped around Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. I didn't do I didn't do commentaries for every single issue that I've drawn. I left some out, and the other day I was digging through my comics and I stumbled across this here. This is a storyline called Fracture, written by Robert Venditti, drawn by me. I got to draw the whole story here, which is unusual. It was very unusual at DC Comics. You would start to work on a storyline. At this point in time, this book was shipping twice monthly, and so they would pull you off and put in, and it sucks so bad. You would draw like maybe 2 issues of a story arc, and then somebody would come in and do one, and you might come back and do another one, and then somebody else would finish it off. And it was really kind of jumbled and was disorienting. You couldn't sit down and really tell a story, which was something I despised. I really didn't like that. I wanted to tell the entire story by myself. And then, coming in and helping someone in the middle of their story or having someone else come in the middle of mine was unpleasant. It didn't feel very fulfilling, but it was just part of the job. And I think at this point at DC Comics, things were still pretty cool. This was part of REBIRTH. Jeff Johns came in and basically restructured and reorganized the DC universe. It was in decline after DC, the New 52. And nobody really understood this then. I mean, most people didn't understand that there was a real personality conflict happening between Dan DiDio and Jeff Johns. Dan DiDio, he was the hero of DC's New 52. He restructured everything. He made everything different. I believe he made some substantial and drastic changes to Superman in order to cope with Warner Brothers, DC's difficulties with the with the Superman license. I think at some point they were sharing it with the family, and the family won some of it back, and DC wasn't allowed to do things like have Superman wearing the red underpants and the spit curl. He wasn't allowed to say up and away or anything like that. So anyway, Dan DiDio created the New 52, and at first it was a big hit, but then it began to spiral down, downhill when people started to realize that some of the relationships between characters that they valued, that they'd enjoyed over the years, weren't present in DC New 52. Everything had kind of changed. Everything had reset. And people began to become resentful. They began to feel kind of disenfranchised from what DC Comics was. So they brought Jeff Johns in with this new Rebirth initiative to put everything kind of back the way that it was and the way that it should be. And it turned out there was some resentment because this was a big hit. Rebirth was an enormous hit. And Dan DiDio was not happy about it. I don't think he was happy about it. Anyway, so we're well into Rebirth by the time this comes around. I was a big part of this initiative. I did the very first Rebirth book with Jeff Johns and some other really, really big artists. That was DC Rebirth number 0, I think. And carried on and did quite a bit of stuff to kind of put things back the way they were. Jeff said to me, if it's Rebirth, it needs to be you. You need to be working on this. People will not accept Rebirth if Ethan Van Sciver is not a part of it. And I really appreciated Jeff. I think that Jeff could have done it, obviously, without me or without anyone in particular, but that was an honorable thing that he did, and it was good for my family. We made a little bit of money, so thank you, Jeff Johns. All right, so here we go. DC Rebirth. This was Green Lantern and Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, the stodgy Green Lantern book, the book that Jeff told me I shouldn't be working on. Jeff said you should be doing Green Lanterns, which is a new, and he used the word progressive Green Lantern title, at which point I said, you know who I am, pal. You shouldn't have used the word progressive. New would have been good. I would like to do Hal Jordan. These are the characters that I like. I like the classic Green Lantern, so I will work on this book instead. And was able to do that. So this is now issue 22 of about a 50-issue run, and at this point we'd gotten ahead sufficiently that DC was allowed me to kind of say, all right, you're going to do an entire story arc by yourself. We're going to plan it like 6 months from now so that you'll have time to do the entire thing. And I'm grateful for that. This is the first part. I love this cover. Really, really pleased with this cover. When they did trade paperbacks, collections of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, they unfailingly used my covers. They used my covers as the covers for trades, which again I appreciated. I thought that was great. I really did dig that, and I think they used this as the trade cover for Fracture. As you can see, we've got Saranic Natu, who is going to change her name here, and then Hal Jordan putting their fists together. They're joining. They're I don't know. They're becoming a team. The Sinestro Corps and the Green Lanterns are going to sort of ally themselves. And then we have, concentric circles coming off of their ring powers. And we can see inside that the Green Lantern Corps is mixing with the Sinestro Corps. And that's because, hey, Saranic Natu is not Sinestro. Even though she's Sinestro's daughter, maybe she wants to do things different than her dad. And I put almost every single character that I could think of. Most of the characters that I created are in here. Happy to do it. All right, I haven't really looked at this book in ages, so I don't even know what I'm about to see. It looks like we've got this prison world here. This is my favorite thing. I've done this with so many of my comics since Green Lantern. You just open on a planet. We even did this with Cyberfrog Blood Honey. We're kind of doing it again with Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet. You just do a big overview of the world that you're looking at. And then this kind of arrow panel, which shows, this seems to be, if I remember correctly, this is like a vault planet. This is where a lot of other worlds store their riches. And you've got this one figure here. This is funny. This is the whole thing about drawing for DC Comics. You have to do a page a day. I mean, there's sometimes when you don't get a page a day done, and you can spend a little bit more time. But when you spend 3 days on a page, then you have to catch up. And so this would be a quicker page for me, a much quicker page. We see he's going into the vault. Who knows what happens here? His little alien face. Oh, pirates are coming. Looks like he's Oh, I know what he's done. He's unlocked the planet so that space pirates can come invade and loot the world. Look at these space pirate ships. One of them even has look at this, the skull and crossbones on it. That's how you know that this is a pirate spaceship. This has sails on it. Again, to just make it clear right away, even though there's no practical reason why a ship in space should have sails on it. There's no air, there's no wind. It just puts it across. You know what you're looking at here. You know you're looking at pirate ship shapes. And that's how I roll. Kilowog, one of my favorite Green Lanterns. Flying above the city, flying above, is this Oa? Oh, Mogo. They were on Mogo, the living planet. They'd set up their base there. And you can see these are the two power batteries standing set up next to each other. I loved drawing things like this. I love drawing aliens. I love creating new shapes, new ideas. When you're working on Green Lantern or Cyberfrog, the sky's the limit. The villains can look any way that you want them to look. You're being told that you're dealing with alien worlds. So create whatever you want. Make whatever shapes that you want. Fracture Part 1, Unified. Writer Rob Venditti, really, really good writer, really good guy. And me, colorist Jason Wright. He's currently coloring the Salamandroid zine, color zine, which is going to be included with Wrecked Planet. It's great to have him on board. I was always really pleased with his colors. And then here we have... I don't even remember what any of this is. I don't remember drawing any of this. It's so funny. When you're working this fast and you're not really precious about what it is that you're doing, and I wasn't, to me, none of this is inspired. This is me rushing. This is me rushing to get stuff done. Creating things, establishing shots for other artists. This is whatever this is here, the two power batteries, and then this Citadel or something. Just establishing things for other artists to do, and that's the job. You got to do it quickly. I do remember this. I actually remember having Guy Gardner take off his vest and he's wearing solid black turtleneck underneath. I like that. He's practicing. And Arkillo here. Arkillo's a Sinestro Corps villain villain. He's a hero here now. Sinestro Corps character that was created by Ivan Rice. Supposed to be kind of Kilowog inside out, like the bad guy version of Kilowog, and he's just eating his heavy bag. I think Rob Venditti asked me to do that, and nobody says to him, "You're not supposed to eat." I mean, how is he dumb? Is he stupid? Well, he says "merg," so I guess he is dumb. Yeah, like, are you a dog? You're just gonna eat the heavy bag, huh? That's cool. And we've got Kyle Rayner, who is a femme. I always thought Kyle was just kind of, I don't know. He was never my favorite. But I like to play up the aspect of him being kind of an artistic fellow. Look at him sitting on the edge of this cliff here on Mogo. There's a nice tree with some alien flowers, and he's sketching. He's got the same kind of board that a comic book artist would use. He's got his pencils out. Mogo has its symbol, floating in the sky above. Here we have some kind of infirmary. It's a hospital. And Serenic Natu saying, let's move. Always like to do a big, nice shot of Hal Jordan here. Let me see. Oops, sorry about that. I like the flying shots of Hal Jordan. I don't remember drawing this, but I've done, literally dozens of just splashy shots of Hal Jordan flying into action. And this one isn't bad. I like his smirk. I like his cocky smirk. At this point, Hal Jordan was my character. I drew him with my eyes closed. Right over here, we see one of my favorite characters that I ever created. This is Carousel. She's a Sinestro Corps character. She's got her construct pack of alien dogs that orbit her at all times. They were killed, I believe. I can't remember the origin Jeff wrote for her. But it was something like that. And these are all constructs that kind of keep her company now. John Stewart, yeah. Oh, and here we go. This guy here, this is a classic Green Lantern villain that I guess when DC heard that his name's Bullfunga, I can't remember, Bullfunga the something or other, the Cowardly or something, who knows what it is, but Bullfunga. When DC Comics heard that Rob Venditti wanted to use him, it was kind of like a chuckly moment, like he was a silly character, but we've got him as, a pirate king. I love to draw characters with effed up teeth. I like drawing ugliness. I really do like to draw these characters and just say, hey, these are not attractive, these are not attractive people. These are ugly people. But he does have a hot chick in the background there, who is also a pirate. A big skull with a spike through it. Somewhere near his penis, representing toxic masculinity. I keep doing that. Sorry about that. And here she is closer. She's a monstrous. I guess she's kind of influenced. I was influenced by Shrek's wife there. This is a great face. Look at that. Look at that. Urgh. I like that. Broken teeth. Just hideous pirate. Alien pirate. Did I fix his costume, or is this kind of... I think this is how his costume looked. I don't think I did anything. I don't think I made any changes to Bullfunga, except to just try to make him look more interesting. And I think I did it. I really like this. This is pretty good stuff. And then here we've got a splash page that had... this is a double page spread that had tremendous impact. People really liked this. And I'm glad that they did, because it took almost no time. This was a 2-page spread that I wanted to get done in a single day. Ordinarily a double page spread, you might want to spend 3 days on it, 4 days maybe, because it's a moment of boom, and so you want to have that kind of an impact. But I was so concerned about getting this book done on time. It's a very simple drawing. I mean, it's just a big fist that took up nearly, what is this, a third of the page is his fist? But it works, and then you kind of work backwards. And then draw, a few other characters here coming down. None of these are particularly well detailed, and, they're just there. But boy, does that have impact in a way that I haven't seen a Green Lantern drawing have impact in a long time. Flipping open and saying, he says, we'll write the ending, and he's coming right at Bullfunga with his fist out. Good job, me. I would pat myself on the back if I could. This worked out great. Good use of my time, good use of energy here. Wonder Woman in theaters, 2017. Bullfunga, Fire Broadside. This is great too, and this is great. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps teaming up with the Sinestro Corps to fight these space pirates. Not bad. This is just really good energy. I like the movement here on the page. Yeah, I mean, what can I tell you? I'm an old pro. I've been doing this for a long time. Here's a page that probably took half a day where Arkillo makes a snake. And again, there's a lot of color and a lot of impact in this panel, but I look at this and I break it apart and said this whole thing probably took an hour to draw, like this thing here, and then just finishing up these small panels, telling the story, making it clear what he's doing, but doing it in such a way that it's fairly quick. This is quick work. And, when I look at my work at DC Comics, especially when I was working on a monthly book like this, which was bi-monthly, but I'm doing it twice monthly, I should say. Not bi-monthly, it's twice monthly. I just remember finding ways to cut corners effectively. And here's another good way to cut corners effectively. Another 2-page spread where there are lots of little panels at the top and then one major panel, but the panel is mostly about energy. It's this one figure of Hal Jordan, which is extremely beautiful. I mean, this is really well done. I'm proud of myself. I like the pose. I like the way he looks here. He looks good. Flawless. Really good work. And mostly it's him firing these construct missiles out, sending these missiles with the nice Green Lantern heads on them. I can't complain. I mean, this is great. This must just be the first issue. And then look at this. This page, look, the missiles hit. Look at the ships are silhouetted, tiny little. This page must have taken 30 minutes to draw. This is garbage. This is pure garbage. It looks like at this point I was like, okay, I got to cut even more corners. You've got Bullfunga on the ground, tiny figures of the Green Lantern and Sinestro Corps above him demanding he surrender. Yeah, this is what I hate about my DC work. It's like you can tell exactly when the inspiration stops and when I begin to cut corners. Here's another cheat page where you do long strip panels. And because of the shape of the panels, you've got plenty of room for lots of dialogue, which there always was. But really, you end up drawing about half a page worth of material. It's like this panel's pretty good. You've got characters all down it. But look at this little head here. And then, I mean, this is, look at this. Did I repeat this? This is almost repeated. I guess I didn't stat it, but yeah, it's very, very similar. It's okay. It tells the story, but it isn't impressive. And if there were more time, I would have done this in a million different other ways. This is garbage too, like silhouetted heads, big shot here. Just look back to. Leave this open, allow Jason Wright to do this effect and just draw tiny lanterns. I mean, this is why I'm grateful for what I get to do now. I really am happy drawing Cyberfrog and just taking my time and making it so that it's high budget. And not high budget in terms of money, even though sure, it's high budget in terms of time and energy. I don't want to cheat anything. Everything has to be, it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. I'm not a perfect artist, but everything has to be my very best effort. And, while I look at this book and I see moments of goodness, moments of, this is just more, I mean, Salak, I love Salak. But, look at this. It works. It's effective. It tells the story, but, I really wish I could have done more. All right, we get back to me rocking and rolling a little bit. Here's Kyle Rayner. I always want to say Kyle Ritter. And again, he's got a love interest in Saranic, perhaps. Saranic Natu. I think they were already dating. Here's something weird. Like, I actually had them put in somebody else's artwork here as a memory. Like, he had to flash back to something. And I must have said, insert shot here of that. That's strange. I usually wouldn't do that. I usually would draw that. But again, this is just another way to be like, okay, move. Let's get this book done. This book comes out every 2 weeks, so we gotta crank it, And I did have a 6-month head start to get get the whole miniseries done, but that time goes quick. This is good. I like her standing here. I like her ring floating around. That's pretty neat. What do we got? All right, they're in prison. They've got Bullfunga in prison. Good acting here. I could draw Bullfunga all day long. I like him. Look at his face here. Beautiful. He's saying, hey, there's a bad cop in your ranks, and he's somebody who killed somebody else. All right, very good. Wait till the people find out that this one Green Lantern that you all love, or this one Sinestro Corps guy, whoever it is, killed another Lantern. That's going to disrupt this fragile unity that you have, this allyship. So that's it. I mean, what can I tell you? How do I feel having looked at this again for the first time? Moments of grandeur, moments of really, really good stuff. I like the cover. I would buy this cover personally. I would buy this comic if I saw it on the stands. But it isn't entirely, it's like a third of it is good and the other, maybe half of it is okay. And the rest of it is just, I don't know, it's lazy, it's quick, it's slapdash. And that is the consequence of working monthly. I see other people do this too. I see comic books that come out of the big two that are completely disposable. I mean, you know, they're just quick efforts rather than anything that's going to stand the test of time. As temporary as baked goods, and just as disposable. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it. It's kind of fun to talk about comics. Haven't done that in a while. I hope you, the few of you that are going to watch this, enjoy it. Leave me comments in the comment section below. I read every comment. Appreciate you guys. Love you. I'll see you again later for. Should I do all of these? No, I'll listen to you guys. If you guys say do part 2, I'll do part 2. Otherwise, this is a one-off. So you guys let me know in the comments what you want, and we'll keep going. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Hey, you want to follow me on Twitter? Are you sure? Well, if so, I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. That's at Ethan Van Sciver. See you there. Hey, I got a P.O. box. Want to send me some mail? Send it to Ethan Van Sciver, P.O. Box 607, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053. And I'll probably open it up on the live stream. Thanks very much, everyone.